people are talking like this is the new SA Open, right? Or some type of
Yeah,
SA Open, the way
definitely.
it brings people,
It,
the
it,
players with
it
with
has
its
a
prize
feel.
money.
It has a
Yeah.
feel of the SA Open in terms of importance. Chess, nonsense, and analysis.
Yes, Watu. Here we are again. What
Absolutely.
are we looking at today?
Well, look, today we are looking at the Moja Festival. Exciting tournament. So, yeah.
Good stuff. Actually, as we're recording, I think the last few games of round two is just finishing up. So, yeah, we will. I think we'll get right into it. We had a couple of upsets today with 2 rounds played, and I think we'll jump straight into. We'll go to the board and we'll check one of the main upsets that happened. Let's go over to the board, Watu. Okay, so round two, we saw an upset with our board one of South Africa. Of course, just came back from the Olympiad FM, Daniel Barish. Seems like he's still a bit tired from all the traveling and so on. Not taking anything away from his opponent though, but Daniel lost to Rafael Felix. And this is an upset, of course, because there's a good 200 rating difference over there. Watu. So, what do you
Yeah.
make of everything?
Well, look, I mean, I think I'll have a clearer picture after we look at the game, because I looked at the game very quickly.
Yeah.
And I didn't even look with the engine, which, sometimes it's also good just to have a look like that. But what is surprising, of course, is that Daniel has got the white pieces as well. So, yeah, there should have been something special happening. Either the opponent played very well, or he played a lot of inaccurate moves, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Let's do as they do, or as they did in Kimberley. Let's dig into it and let's see if we can find some diamonds of some sorts. Right. Let's see. So, okay, Daniel's got the white pieces. He plays his standard D4 over there. We have a Queen's Gambit declined on the board. And I've had many deals with Daniel in this Queen's Gambit decline, so he knows his stuff. But Bishop F4 is this new stuff for? I'm not sure. Maybe he's just trying to avoid a bit of theory. Bishop G5, of course, your standard way to go.
Yeah. Look, I think for me, he's just trying to avoid possibly some theory, and so let's have a look.
Yep. So E3, Bishop D6. This does give black. You know what? In these positions, though, black kind of does welcome trades, even though black still is stuck with what they call this problematic bishop over there. But seems like a soft trade over there, which I don't think black seems to mind. Bishop D3, castle, and knight to F3. Okay, so I don't know what to. I kind of feel like maybe knight f3 wasn't necessary. It looks like an automatic move, right? I mean, the viewers might just shoot me for saying knight f3. What can be more natural than that, right? So, but I mean, Queen's Gambit players, they love to play Queen c2. It's still not giving this bishop an option to hit the knight and pin it. As we've pointed out, this bishop is the problematic one in the whole setup. So. Now Bishop G4, I don't know if it's that dangerous here compared to knight F3 already. It's possible.
Well, look, I mean, I have seen many. I'm talking now from a classical point of view. Like I know a few games in this structure where, for example, if black plays, let's say something. I'm just making an example. Let's say Bishop G5. Let's say I play.
You could go H3.
But then I can play 92.
Yeah, 92 and knight F4. Yeah, so let's say.
And then if Bishop H5, knight F4. But also, there are some games where the knight has been on F3 already, and black plays this Bishop H5. and then, I know a game where white played, for example, queen away, so that if bishop g6, white played bishop e2, and still held an advantage in this position. So a structure like this. So I think that, I don't know if knight f3 is
It's possible.
I think it's a move, but I think it's a move.
It has to, of course, be a move.
Yeah. Now, after bishop g4, so I think there are two ways to look at this now. The one way is that we play, structurally, because we have this b4, b5 that's going to come much later. But now question: what if I just play
queen c2, maybe
queen b3?
Queen b3.
I mean, for example, I want to play knight e5. I mean, I play queen b3.
You invite bishop f3. Of course, black is not going to do that.
I'll be very happy to see bishop f3. Bishop f3, I take gf. I've got, I have ideas to, the g file, and I've got, I can castle. I've got many options. I even have e4 if need be. I would be happy to see bishop takes f3. But, possibly black should play here, I feel, maybe knight d7, isn't it? I feel that knight d7
probably the main way to go. If you take, then possibly rook b8.
Yeah. Because we can go that way. And
because if you think about it, okay, black's not gonna allow this, and you grab another one, and then you can take if you decide to castle short, right? If black gets in, so maybe I should take d7.
Yeah, definitely. So
the question is, what should white do now, though? How do you continue?
Exactly. It's what I'm thinking, because if you see, I seem to be a little bit slow, because if I play a3 with the idea of playing queen b4, I'd love to do that. But I think that black can possibly play c5 here, and I'm not the happiest person in the world. In this position.
That's not nice.
So maybe queen b3 is not really a great idea, though. Then why? Okay.
Queen c2, knight d7 again.
Yeah, so maybe I guess then I'll have to start sort of agreeing with you and saying, maybe knight f3 was not the most accurate move.
Maybe not. I mean, if you're not fighting for anything huge, then you can simply castle and bishop e2 and just whatever the case is. But this one certainly makes black's life comfortable, right?
Exactly. Black's life is then easy, no?
So maybe Daniel was just a bit asleep still with this.
Exactly. You see, knight f3, because you see, as we're saying, it's not about excuses. It's just looking at the game. To me, I get the impression that here in this position, because of the double rounds, then we'll talk about it later on. I feel that white just played knight f3 as a
like it's autopilot move.
Autopilot. It's autopilot. Just played knight f3 without thinking much about anything. And then after bishop g4 was like, then I think he starts to look here, and he's not happy with many positions that he's getting. And then he tries to force issues here with h3 and g4. Look, I don't think if he plays against somebody he respects,
he's not gonna do this.
It's a little bit it's like bullying the opponent, but I don't think there's justification for it, no? Somehow.
For sure. So when I saw this, I'm like, okay, white is white is not actually, this is nice by black, by the way, taking fg, because white is not ready for any initiative. So now you ask yourself, what is this all about, right? So white was kind of shooting himself in the foot here with this.
But you see, on the other hand, we must commend Raphael for this FG idea.
This is nice, very nice.
Yes, because it's got a feel. It's a feel for the initiative. He understands that in this position, the king still doesn't have a nice home, and even if you move the queen, the knight on f3 will be hanging in some variation.
Exactly.
So there is a little crisis that white is under.
For sure. That's a really nice move, actually. Quiet one, but it's powerful. So white now seeing that the knight would hang if you move the queen, he plays knight e5. And yeah, this one surprised me slightly. I guess Black has quite a few moves. I'm not going to be overcritical with this one, but this, I mean, he's opening up the rook. He's ready for the trade as well with the other knight jumping in.
It is surprising to me, though, knight f7. Well, he's got an idea for sure, but I'm just saying, as someone who's watching it, I mean,
surely knight d7 is most natural, right?
Yeah. So I guess then for me, the logical thing is probably where, so we have to ask ourselves, okay, what does he have in store against
Maybe
f4?
Mm,
So this would have to
e5.
be because that would be the logical thing if you play knight b7 f4. Maybe he was not happy with that, so
Yeah.
he goes knight fd7. So we would have to come here and say, well, what do we think he's got? What's his idea here? Possibly g5. Can g5 be
Nice.
a move? Because it loosens e5 a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Pressing on f4 immediately.
yes, I'm ready to blast open the center, and you should be very, very careful. Like
show a sample line here, maybe something like this. You could take on e5 twice.
Yes, exactly. As a sample line.
A sample line.
Exactly.
So yeah, he's definitely put some thought into this for sure with knight d7.
Yeah. So then we see knight d3, yeah.
Yeah, so okay, I'm sure White is now just worried about all the simplifications. He's just losing more and more active pieces. So White tries to keep more pieces on the board. Knight d3, knight a6, queen e2. White, of course, needs to look at castling long now. Rook c8, preparing for the attack.
Yeah, rook c8 looks a little bit slow to me. I mean,
what do you think? Are we going d5 or what?
Look, I think you gotta play a little bit more dynamically here, because I think that it seems to me like Black is really well placed.
Yes.
And I'm busy thinking what to do, but somehow I feel.
I just see like two moves that are maybe sharper than c8 is maybe b5 or c5. I don't know.
I'm looking for something really sharp. I'm looking at this. I'd like to put my knight from d7 on to c4. I'd love that.
Yeah.
But if I go knight b6, maybe you can have the argument you can play knight e5 then maybe. Okay. So maybe can I trade this knight then? Can I go knight b4 and then? Because I'm thinking of, you remember Capablanca said that in this Calpert structure, the perfect square for the knight is d3 or d6.
Yes. So you're trying to get rid of that one, right?
Yeah. The knight on d3 is very useful. It's in these structures, it's quite good. So if I can get rid of the knight and then put my other knight on c4, then I can play b5 and support any kind of an attack. And if my knight's on c4, by the way, then you cannot play moves like f3, f4, whatever, because e3 is weak. So I don't know, knight b4 to me, it looks like
makes sense.
It could be a little awkward for White. I don't know, but that's my impression.
Yeah, no, I like the idea over there. I certainly like the idea. Okay, but I can't really complain about this one as well too much, because if you think about it, Black is still keeping some pieces on the board. I don't know if it's but both clearly White is not in
no, Black is very comfortable, right? Black is very comfortable.
Knight b6.
Now White should be yeah, I don't know about king a1. Yeah?
I mean the knight on c3 doesn't have a square.
Yes, he's threatening before.
Yeah,
that much is clear. However,
what to do?
What if I played
rook c1? No.
Or 95?
95?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, 95. Yeah, White should surely go back there, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I should try. I mean, let's say 95 here, and then I try to play a 4.
Yeah.
I mean,
has to be.
And then, okay, I mean, I don't think I'm going to be blasted off the board here. I'm not claiming that White is got any advantage at all, but I feel that I don't see why I should necessarily lose this position. Let me put it that way, as White.
Yeah.
I mean, 95, and I'm just.
I was looking. I was looking at the sack anyway, but it doesn't seem to work yet. Maybe you should play rook b8 or something. I want to play b4 anyway.
Look, if you play b4, I will not take immediately. I will play knight e4 for a better structure. You know.
e4. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will play first knight e4, and then I will take on a6, just to
Interesting.
make the structure a little bit more manageable for myself. Oh, but
is f2 hanging though? I mean, let's see. b4.
I have to wait a second. You are right. So I have to be a little bit careful. Okay, then I might have to play knight a4.
But okay, so this guy's here.
Yeah, at least if I take on a6, you're still hanging, right? Like go knight a4.
a4
here in this position. Yeah.
Well, I don't have any useful move. Can I play? No, I have to take. Yeah. Okay.
Then queen a6.
Yes, so painful to move back.
Yeah, I'm busy looking at like taking on b2, f2, but I don't believe in it.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Black might have to prepare b4, maybe with one move or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then now I play f4. I mean, maybe I even have a claim for an advantage here.
Yeah. If things slow down too much for black, yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing rook c1, rook c5. If you allow me, then I'm happy. I take this position again as white.
Okay.
So yeah. So 95.
95, interesting. Yeah. King a1 very slow. Yeah. b4 happened. Knight b1, and now I think black is just getting away everything, right?
Yes. Excuse me, Kelvin, just to jump in here. But I think if you have two positions to choose, you have one position where you will play king before, allow before knight b1. Or play 95. You are choosing 95.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You know. So once again, I'm saying, objectively speaking, I see we're gonna talk about it afterwards, but I see outside the board factors playing a role. The decision making that Daniel is making here is definitely not crisp, I would say. Yeah.
Definitely.
Looks like a man who's very tired and so on. So
yeah.
So I mean, King A1, I don't like it at all.
Yeah, now, I certainly agree with that.
Yeah, but have a look at how now black plays. He feels you. It's as if you can feel that Felix feels his chance.
Yes,
you know, and he can feel it, and you can almost imagine his heart beating fast here. He feels that I've got him.
And you know what? I was quite impressed here because c5 is nice move, takes. Okay, it's some small tactics. Pawn hangs and black comes up with some nice idea here. Knight b3 check. So it's a. I mean, if you want to call it a pawn sacrifice, but beautiful continuation, right? Not wasting any time, getting to it.
Look, Kelvin. The point of the matter is very simple. The measure of a good player is a player who at the right moment can feel the moment, but is not scared is not terrified to grab the moment. And I feel that Rafael Felix is grabbing the moment.
Definitely.
Which is very good for a young player. I mean, it says a lot about his potential. Because you are playing against the S8 Lows champion, a player who's just been at the Olympia, and many players would chicken out from going because you are actually now basically sacrificing a pawn and playing for the initiative and playing for an attack. You're playing for a win, so to speak.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. There's no going back. But if you think about it, if we go a few moves and roundabout here, maybe you can be content just to hold this position and say, okay, no, it looks risky. I'm going to sacrifice a pawn. I'm just making an example. And you say, nah, I'll play more solidly. I'll first play this and that. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Maybe knight c4, rook b8, build up a bit more, and then you lose the moment. Right?
I can't see clearly. But he is a player who feels the initiative. He feels that this position, he because you cannot calculate anything here. But he feels by intuition that he has enough.
This is beautiful, by the way. Yeah, you can see just the maximum activity. Like everybody's happy. The knight, once the knight gets unlocked, then everything is basically flowing.
It's very nice. I'm saying that I'm impressed. I'm impressed by these moves. Yeah. Okay. What happens now?
Okay, rook d3. White is trying to hold on here. Knight to d7. And we spoke about the knight active. The knight's the only one that needs to get active. Nice move. And the knight is getting options. Getting options. Knight d2. White is again trying to hold on. Queen to b5.
But once again, look, let's go back. Once again, I mean, if we are talking about a player who is in form, look, he is violating all the defensive rules that we have learned by studying classical games. When you are defending, you don't want to shut your queen out. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You are under attack. You don't want to shut your queen out. So again, what I'm saying, this shows, what does it show to me? It shows a player who is not at his best, in a sense that he's changing his mind a lot, but he doesn't, then he feels, then at the right moment, he doesn't know what to do. And he says, I need to make a move. And then he makes a move, which starts with rook d3, closing his queen. And then the second one, because at this stage, there's no reason to be trying to hold on to material too much.
Yeah.
You need to be trying to get out. You need to be trying to right? So, okay. So rook d3, okay, we block our queen, but maybe not a big issue. Knight goes to d7, but I mean, surely you must do something. But knight d2, now you've blocked your rook on d3 blocks the queen, your knight on d2 blocks the queen on e2. I'm not happy.
Doesn't look nice,
I'm not happy.
If I can suggest something, maybe queen d2 or something. I know this is difficult.
Yes, but queen d2 definitely better than knight d2. I mean, I will say that better than knight d2. Okay,
Black, of course, is no way gonna trade over there.
No.
Queen d2, maybe queen b5 anyway, and knight c5 is again looming. No, but rook d5 is there though.
Yeah, but you see, but the issue is that if you don't trade, I mean, I thought, okay, maybe he can trade, and the end game maybe is very good for Black, because if you don't trade, I'm playing rook takes d5, and d7 is hanging, and I'm getting out.
You're taking and then knight c5 or what? What are you aiming for?
Like queen takes d2, f2 hands, right?
Yeah.
If you cannot play knight takes d2, you can. But it looks dangerous, right? And if you play rook takes d2, then I maybe play knight c5, and I'm attacking b3.
Okay, I can't still grab on d5, right?
So king
everything
a2.
is just too loose.
Exactly. And now I can bring, I need to find some clever moves. Maybe knight e4.
Knight e4 is possible, I was looking at that.
Yeah, then if rook takes e5, rook takes f2. And I am certainly definitely winning this as Black.
There's some good coordination. This knight is stuck at the moment.
Coordination is devastating. Rook comes to c2. It's just devastating. So I don't know. I think that knight on b1 is a donkey. And, it looks very, very dangerous. Yeah.
Nice.
But nonetheless, I mean...
okay. So, 92 for sure, not White's best attempt over here. Queen b5 now kind of paralyzing White to a certain degree. Rook
I like queen b5 a lot.
Very nice. I like it.
Queen b5 is a very good move. It's just, it's as if in a fight, you just, instead of trying to punch your opponent, you hold their two hands. There are two hands so that they cannot do anything, and then you only then will you attack, because you can't move the rook. The queen it would be under attack. The knight can move because knight c5 comes with b3 under attack. So the only thing that is there is maybe rook e1 to defend the queen.
Oh, for sure. And Black finds a nice blow here. Rook takes f2.
Yes.
Queen takes.
It all comes with check. It all comes with check. Yeah.
Everything comes with check. Very nice play over here. King a2.
Yeah.
And the king is so wide open. Black, of course, just needs to bring in the last piece over here. Okay. The knight was threatening. I'm calling the rook the last piece. You felt the knight's presence the whole time. Knight to b1.
Absolutely.
Knight comes in.
Oof.
Knight a3. And okay, there's nothing much that white can do here. So black is picking up an exchange, but even in the final position, black declines the exchange and just forces mate over there. So a rough
nice game by black, but
great game by Felix, yes.
But a little bit of a poor game by Daniel Parish for sure.
Definitely not up to Daniel's usual standards, I would say.
No.
But yeah, well done to Felix. I checked his FIRE profile. I think he's born in 2010. That means he's 14 years old. So great achievement there by Felix.
Very
Raphael.
Nice.
So yeah, that is what the drama, some of the drama of round 2 here at the Moja, and the Moja. Unfortunately, both of us are not playing Watu, so that's why we're doing this recap.
Yes.
But now talking about the dynamics, shall we move back to our? Let's put the chessboard to the side here for now.
You know, for me, I don't know how you see it, but you know, the way I see it, there are 3 factors at play here. The first factor is that it has incredible prize money. This obviously brings with it some added pressure. That is the first factor.
Yeah.
So it makes it immediately not a normal tournament where, you know, in a normal tournament, first prize 3,000, you blunder in the last round, you lose out, you go home, you don't feel it's a little bit painful. It stings for 10 minutes. Yeah. But after 10 minutes, you've forgotten. Yeah. It's not really such a big issue. But 50,000 is a little bit different, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the people are talking like this is the new SA Open, right? Or some type of SA Open. The way
definitely
it brings people, the players with its.
It has a feel. It has a feel of the SA Open in terms of importance.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at the moment, the SA Open is, in terms of importance, not living up to the standard at the moment. We need, you know, lots of work has to be done there, but definitely the Moja is. So that is the first factor. Then the second factor for me becomes now it ceases to be a normal tournament. No, I don't mean normal. Maybe it's the wrong choice of words. It ceases to be. So let's put it this way. This plays an important factor because, my next point, it's double rounds for many rounds. Okay. And double rounds for many rounds, it makes a very interesting dynamic to the event, which means a number of things. Number one, I mean, I played last time, preparation is reduced. Yeah. The power of preparation is reduced because after a game, you have to eat. And then after eating, you have to rest a bit. Then you have to check who you're playing. And so you don't have... Excuse me, Kevin?
No, sorry for cutting you there, Watu. I was saying, let's just say that round 2's quality of preparation is definitely down. And of course, the energy levels are also lower. So overall, the quality of play goes down in round 2.
Exactly. So then what exactly. And then what actually happens then, Kelvin, because of this situation, what you then try to do, you try to compensate in the evening. Because now you start to realize that I'm not going to have time to prepare during the day. So in the evening, you prepare for your game, but then you start looking also at who you could face. You have to look at it because you've got time before you sleep.
Yeah.
Then you prepare for your game, and then you have to then have a look at, okay, let's see if I win, who would I play at which color? You have to. Because you know you have to, so you gotta borrow the time from your sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. And now that plays an important role because Okay, you can do it for like 2 days, but if you're going to do it for 3 days, that takes its toll as well because you get
It piles
tired
up.
and
It piles up. Yeah, yeah.
it piles
Yeah.
up. So then it becomes a tournament like definitely like last time, which favors the younger participants. So the older participants are not necessarily uh, um, second best in terms of understanding of chess and strength, but just these little conditions make it a little bit easier if you are certainly if you are under 20 and you are of reasonable strength, you've got good chances. Yeah.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
and so on, right? So players like your Charlton Nyasta, players like your Keith
Keith
Kumalo.
Kumalo still also in that younger
Yes,
bracket.
players like your Banele,
Panele
right?
as well. Yeah.
Players like your Rogov,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Rogov Matfi. Yes, yes.
Matvey Rogov.
Yeah.
So these,
I would have put Daniel Barry's also somehow in that category as well, but now
well,
that's
okay.
another dynamic that we're gonna
There's
talk
another
about.
dynamic coming
Yeah,
that I'm going to mention. No, Daniel would fit in there, and
yeah,
he can still recover. By the way,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
he can still fix. So you've got a couple of players, so, but now, then the next important dynamic that plays an important part is the fact that a number of the favorites are coming from the Olympiad. Now, the Olympiad, the last round was on Sunday. So it means that flying out most probably would be on Monday.
Yeah,
Then you land on Tuesday in South Africa. And then you still have to make your way to Kimberley. So, and if you're thinking about the issue is that sometimes when we say I'm taking a flight here, we forget about the day to the, or rather the how the stopovers, the 6 hour wait here, in limbo. You go eat something and then you're sitting there, you're waiting for 6 hours. You have to count all of that
yeah,
in all this thing, right? On a plane, not being able to sleep nicely, sleeping for an hour, waking up, and then you're just dozing off and this and that. So this accumulates, right? And then so now if you look at the favorites, let's have a look at who did not play the Olympiad, because I think now the players who did not play the Olympiad are at a better shape. They're in better shape. And I think the first seed, Gillian Bwalia now becomes in a position where he starts now to be amongst the favorites. But of course, he's not old, but there are guys who are younger than him. But nonetheless, right? But he's within that group then because he didn't play the Olympiad.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So right. So in terms of him being tired, it doesn't apply to him.
Yeah, I think besides the fact that his top seed is also fresh, so definitely he's one
Exactly.
of the favorites. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So one of the favorites.
So the next in line is Daniel Caudry, but he played, right? So who's next who didn't play?
No, well,
Charlton.
they all played. Who?
Charlton didn't play, right?
Charlton didn't play. Yeah,
so
Charlton now Charlton becomes a hot favorite because he starts to tick all the boxes. Charlton starts to tick all the boxes. He is young, so the double rounds don't affect him as much. And number two, Charlton's style, because Charlton is the type of player who can play first move b3.
Yeah.
He can play b3 c4. He's comfortable with moving he's a very natural player, but also practical player.
Yeah.
He's not a theoretical player. He knows his theory, of course, but he's not a theoretician. He doesn't aim to go for an advantage.
Doesn't aim for perfection. Yeah, he's going for practicality.
That's number one.
Yeah.
And number two, he's ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
His decision making is ridiculously fast. Of course, it can be in many cases, as it can be a negative, But if he gets the right balance, as he's done in many tournaments, if he gets the right balance where he doesn't play too fast, but he still keeps it going, that he doesn't blunder or make too big errors, then he's ticking the right boxes. So for me, he is one of my, if I was to pick a winner, and if I could bet, if it was a betting thing, I would be putting my money on Charlton for sure. And then the other guy who's also ticking all the boxes, by the way, is Matthew Rogoff.
Next one online, yes, they didn't play
Yeah.
Olympiad. He's Matthew, yes, for sure.
Yeah,
he's also right up there.
It ticks the boxes as well. And then so I'll have those as the Benning favorites. Then I will have players I will call on the other outside group who have chances, and I'm looking at experience. So I'm looking there at Gillian. I'm looking at I am Mabusela.
Sure,
yeah,
definitely. He's also
in terms of freshness,
and experience, yeah.
Experience, and you have to remember that the other advantage that they are having over the other guys is that the other guys have been playing and they've been looking at their games. So even at home, they've been playing just now. So they in terms of preparation, it's much easier. Even when you don't prepare, like second round in a day, Kelvin, where you just turn up and play. If you play against someone who played the Olympiad, we saw their games more or less. We saw all their games. You can remember a recent game and say, oh, against Colombia, he played there and there. Do you understand? Because we're all following players from Africa. Well, we're following guys from India and so on, but following players from Africa. Right, so it just like that. I'll be able to imagine things. Let me make an example. Let's say with South African team, I immediately remember like Daniel say, "Oh, that game where he played that D4 against the Grandmaster, where he took on G6, and you remember that game. You immediately have to. You can remember that, or this or that. So these are the factors that I think will play an important thing. And also in the women's section, I think we have also similar. We have got Jessie, obviously, should be a big favorite. She's played an excellent event, but then all these other factors also play an important. I think she drew the second round as well.
She drew a second round game.
Yeah, but the field is very small. The field in the women's section is very small, so a draw, a loss is not really, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to play the favorite. It's going to be a round robin anyway.
Sure.
So if you were going to win it, if you've dropped 1.5 and you start playing the favorites, if you are going to win it, you'll still win it. You're right. So it doesn't make much of a difference because you'll still be able to play your competition. So I feel that the women's section is very, very interesting, and we'll keep a close eye on it. We'll see what's happening there. But all in all, exciting stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I think both sections are going to be interesting. It is a rough schedule for them with the double rounds every day. Just to point out, so Gillian is the top seed, and then you have Caudry, Barish, Panele, all three of them, the next ranking players coming from the Olympiad. And to the viewers out there, I mean, one feels tired after a weekend event usually. The Olympiad is about 2 weeks of play, right? So it's taxing, it's serious, and then you need to take a 12-hour or 11-hour flight back and another.
Then a drive. And then a drive.
All of that. Okay. So I can definitely see that maybe the players from the Olympiad would have to do a bit of catching up when it comes to energy, which is not so easy with double rounds. And you could see what I also wanted to mention is, of course, Barish. He's usually one of the players with surprisingly more energy. What I've noticed, Barish is usually fighting. He's a fighter in general with tournaments, local tournaments. You can see it a lot where he's always pressing. You could see that at the SA Closed as well, where some guys are taking draws and so on. He's always pressing, so he's got that. So I wouldn't be surprised if he bounces back. But it's been a long event. When we talk about upsets, I can just briefly check upsets. In round one we had Where were the upsets?
Pro lost, right? Providence, I think.
Providence lost, yes. Providence lost to Calvin Jacobs. I think that was a long Karakan game, close position, lots of fighting. I think Jacobs came through with some nice play at the end there, scooped up a pawn and then eventually converted. And was that the only? Oh, there was another surprise there. It was Metcalf, the senior that went to the World Seniors for the team. He actually beat FIDE Master Michael Simpson, who won the African Under-18s recently. So not a good start for Michael over there, but for the senior Alistair over there, a great start for him.
That's a good result for Alistair.
Yep, for sure. So those were the two main upsets that I can see. And in round 2 of the men's section, of course, we have Barish that now lost. And any other big upsets, I can't see any at the moment. So that's about it. Not too many upsets. Panele drew there against Pia. But yeah, I think everything's still to play for. And of course, in the ladies section, in round 2, Jessie drew over there. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Denise Bauer, Denise Bauer lost a second round. She had a completely winning position and then she blundered over there.
Completely winning,
So, she also probably is not happy with that loss. I'm sure she'll also be fighting. And it's like you said, it's still a long event. So, those are the upsets. And I just saw that the pairings are also up. So, I don't know if we want to just have a glance at the pairings.
Can you tell us please any interesting matchups?
So round 3 in the open section, we have Keith Kumalo with the white pieces versus Gillian Boalia.
Very interesting.
So that's a nice one on board 1. And on the second board, we have I am Daniel Caudry versus I am Johannes Mapusela. I'm gonna just say I'll say maybe these senior players might want to reserve some energies. I could be wrong, but we'll see how they take on that round, that game. And then on the board 3, we have Charlton Nyasta versus Christian Acho. Also interesting stuff.
Okay, but look, I think for me, look, the point is that if I look at all these matchups, round 3, look, my approach would be if I was playing. If I was either player on board 2, look, this game is a morning round, right? It's a morning round. You prepare a little bit. You go to sleep early, and you wake up and you give it all. You cannot take a draw there. You need to put, when the chance avails itself, you gotta put something on the board. Because that can be an important, it could be a decider in terms of favorite and moving. Because both these players will take points off other players.
For sure.
Let's put it that way. If I expect it to be a draw, but whoever can edge out and win this one is making a big statement and becomes one of the favorites immediately.
Definitely, for sure.
And the other thing is that if you win that morning round, you then are able to then take it easy in the evening round, and you can then slow down and take a draw, and you are completely in it. So I think I'll be keeping a very a close watch on that one. The board 1-1 with Keith playing Gillian. Look, for me, it's always about Keith has got lots of potential, but sometimes it's always about which Keith shows up. Sometimes you have a very focused Keith who will play according to his potential and play, and or if he I hope it won't happen that he just makes too many, he blitzes out in critical positions, plays too quickly, and hands over. So that one is it depends what will happen. But I think board 2 is very interesting for me. Any other
Yeah, yeah.
interesting matchups?
Yeah, those were the top 3 boards. I'm not gonna read all the boards, but I'll browse here for interesting boards. But yeah, I'm gonna not hold my breath on board 2. I'm predicting a draw, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope we'll see some action over there. Something interesting. Calvin Jacobs, who did give the upset in round 1. I think he had a tough round 2 as well. He's on 1.5 actually. So he's on 1.5 out of 2. He's playing Ethan Samuels. Ethan Samuels, also an informed player from the Western Province. Right?
Yeah, we shouldn't forget him. He's also very young and
yes.
and fresh and so on. So that's also
that seems like an interesting clash. By the way, Rafael Felix is on full score. He's on 2 out of 2. He's playing Mguni, who's on 1.5. So interesting there. And Daniel Barish is playing Clayton Macheka. Daniel's on 1. Clayton is floating down with 1.5. So I mean, Macheka is a reasonable player, but okay, we are going to expect Daniel to want to bounce back. So those are the interesting ones over there. There's plenty of more interesting boards.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's quickly jump over to the ladies pairings over here. And in round 3, at the top board, we of course now see a change of guard there with Jessie now floating down. So we have Jackie Grobelaar facing Anzel. The top 2 boards are on full score. Jackie Grobelaar versus Anzel Loubser. And on board 2, we have Mokumi versus Bwalia. Right, so Bwalia scoring that victory against Denise Power in the previous round. So those are your full scores. And Jessie is playing Sizakele Masango over there. And Denise is playing...
It's still a long way to go. Still a long way to go there.
Long way to go. As you said, everybody's probably going to play everybody over there.
Yeah.
But interesting stuff. That was our recap of day 1, Watu. Yeah. It's always is going to remain a big tournament, of course, with the prize money and the top players rocking up. And now we've discussed the different dynamics. So it should get, the plot should thicken as the tournament goes along, I would say. So.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's enough nonsense from my side, Watu. What do you think?
Yeah, that's enough nonsense from my side as well, Calvin. Yeah.
So yeah, to the viewers out there, if you like what you've seen, don't forget to do us a favor, press that subscribe button and share, and we will see you next time. Cheers.